Have you ever felt this overwhelming sense of bitterness? Like life has dealt you a bad hand and you're just stuck with it? You're not alone. Bitterness is often a reflection of deep emotional pain, disappointment, or resentment that has not been properly addressed. It festers in the shadows, coloring our thoughts and interactions. Many people struggle with bitterness because they feel life has been unfair to them, leading to negative emotions that affect their mindset and relationships. It's like carrying around a heavy weight, holding us back from experiencing joy and connection. We become afraid to hope, to trust, to love. This bitterness can grow over time, making it difficult to experience happiness and contentment. It can seep into every aspect of our lives, impacting our relationships, our work, even our health. But there's hope. Recognizing bitterness for what it is, a signal, not a sentence, is the first step towards healing. One of the most common roots of bitterness is unresolved hurt and betrayal. Deep pain from betrayal or abandonment leaves emotional scars. Instead of healing, we often hold on to that pain. Replaying hurtful experiences keeps us stuck. True healing requires facing pain with courage. Another breeding ground for bitterness is the gap between our expectations and reality. We all have dreams and ideas about how our lives should unfold. But life rarely goes according to plan. When expectations are shattered, it can be deeply disillusioning. Imagine someone working tirelessly for years, expecting a promotion. They sacrificed, put in extra hours, believed in upward mobility. But then the promotion is given to someone else. The disappointment can be crushing. This disappointment can easily turn into bitterness. They might start to resent their colleagues and work environment. This bitterness can poison their relationships and outlook on life. We've all been wronged at some point in our lives. It's an inevitable part of the human experience. But what happens when we can't let go of that hurt? We build prisons of our own making. Holding grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It keeps us tethered to the past, replaying old hurts. Forgiveness liberates us from the shackles of resentment. Chapter 4. The Comparison Game. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparison. Social media, with its curated highlight reels, often fuels this sense of inadequacy and discontent. We scroll through our feeds, bombarded with images of seemingly perfect lives, exotic vacations, picture-perfect families, and enviable accomplishments. It's easy to forget that these are just snapshots, carefully chosen moments in time, not the full picture. But when we're feeling vulnerable, when our own lives feel messy and inadequate, it's easy to get sucked into the comparison game. Imagine someone who's struggling financially, working long hours just to make ends meet. They open their social media feed and see friends traveling the world, dining at fancy restaurants, buying luxury items. It's a stark contrast to their own reality, and it stings. Instead of appreciating what they have, they focus on what they lack, fueling feelings of frustration, resentment, and yes, bitterness. They might start to resent their friends' good fortune, even if those friends worked hard for their success. This bitterness can lead to isolation, envy, and a diminished sense of self-worth. It's a dangerous game, this constant comparison, because it robs us of the ability to appreciate our own unique journey and celebrate the joys in our own lives. Chapter 4. The Comparison Game. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparison. Social media fuels this sense of inadequacy and discontent. We see perfect lives, exotic vacations, picture-perfect families, and accomplishments. These are just snapshots, not the full picture. When feeling vulnerable, it's easy to get sucked into the comparison game. This constant comparison robs us of appreciating our own unique journey. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Powerlessness. Life can be tough. There's no denying that. We all face challenges and setbacks. But what happens when we start to feel powerless? This perceived lack of control can breed bitterness. It's easy to feel resentful towards those who seem to have it easier. We might start to see the world as a rigged game. It's important to remember that our perceived lack of control is often an illusion. Chapter 6. The Transformative Power of Gratitude. Bitterness can cloud our perceptions and interactions. Gratitude is a powerful antidote. It's about appreciating the good amidst struggles. Recognize the blessings you have. Cultivate gratitude daily. this shift in perspective can be transformative. We've unpacked a lot today, haven't we? And it's heavy stuff. But here's the thing about bitterness. It doesn't have to be a life sentence. While it's a common human experience, it is possible to overcome it with effort and self-awareness. It takes courage to face our pain, to acknowledge the ways in which we've been hurt, and to make a conscious choice to heal. Practicing forgiveness, for ourselves and for others, can help release the grip of resentment, allowing us to move forward without carrying the heavy weight of emotional baggage. Shifting our perspective, focusing on personal growth rather than past disappointments, can also make a significant difference. And then there's gratitude. Cultivating gratitude by appreciating what we have instead of dwelling on what is missing can help transform bitterness into contentment. It's about finding joy in the everyday, celebrating small victories, and acknowledging the good in our lives.